Hey guys, what's going on? So for those of you that haven't seen it yet, Monster Super League are going to be releasing their very first real big update I should say. So in this video we're going to go over it a bit, find out what it means, all that good stuff. So first of all, the Dragon Dungeon is going to be open. This is this dungeon you see when you go to the dungeon place. There's the Dragon Dungeon there and it says coming in a future update. So the Dragon Dungeon will be opened on the weekends. And you can find the stuff needed to access the dungeon called Dragonstone randomly by playing Extreme Mode in the story stages. They say here it's the most difficult dungeon in Monster Super League, so I'm not sure if it's really going to be harder than the final Golem stage. I don't even know how many people can even do that. I know I sure as hell can't. I can get maybe to like Golem 7 or Golem 8 and then I'm done. So if it's really harder than that, there won't be that many people that can do it, at least when it's released. But what you can get from the Dragon Dungeon is pretty crazy. You can get special gems which will allow your Astromon to either stun the opponent or make it a self-sustaining Astromon recovering its HP, and apparently many other effects. So it'll be really interesting to see exactly how many different types of gems these are and what kind of team you can make using them. And that's about it for the Dragon Dungeon. We also have balancing coming into play in this update. So they don't go into too much detail about how the balancing will be made, but they say first, like natural 3-star monsters like Kokomaru, Siren, Lat, Mona, Cosmos, and basically the monsters you can capture in the story mode will become much stronger. So this is really good news for those of us that have captured and raised those you can find in the story mode. They'll also be readjusting natural 5-star Astromons, like Arthur will have an increase in damages and his skills. Persephone gets a buff to attack damage, but a nerf in HP and defense. And apparently Valkyrie will be transformed to a support to other party members, which is interesting. I have a light Valkyrie and a water Arthur, so I'm looking forward to seeing what changes the Valkyrie will have, becoming more of a support. I would actually be in favor of that. Arthur seems like he's just getting buffed. Persephone seems more like a nerf because while she will have more attack damage, 2 of our other stats, which is pretty important, HP and defense, will be nerfed. And most people I've seen are using water Persephone, which is sort of a healer. So survivability going down, that's kind of a bad thing for water Persephone users. So then they say the attack stat as a whole will become buffed, meaning the numbers there will actually do more, because they say the goal is to make attacker Astromons have extraordinary damage, and they end with a big part of the damage will be based on its attack stat. So in short, the attack stat will just mean more. Also, from what I can understand about recovery stats being enhanced, is that basically Astromons which have a focus on recovery stat, will get a buff. I'll just read what it says because I don't like 100% understand exactly. It says, at the moment, if you give an Astromon with many recovery stats, the low HP makes Astromon relatively difficult to survive in the battle. On the other hand, the focusing on HP causes the decrease in the amount of heal, which makes it hard to play the role of healer. This part I understand. Basically it's saying when you focus on the recovery stat of the healer, like I guess you should, it won't have much HP because you're gemming it with recovery gems and not HP gems, and so that would make it harder for it to survive. So and then it says, considering those facts, the amount of HP recovery from Red Souls will be increased, and I'm not sure if this means just for the healers and the people with high recovery stats, or if they'll be all around giving more HP to everyone. And then it says the Astromons which require recovery stats will get a buff. But as far as I know, every Astromon has a recovery stat, and they'll kind of need a recovery stat or else they can't be healed. So what I assume this means is that Astromons with a recovery type, you know how there's the attackers, the tanks, the defenders, so the ones that are recovery type will get a buff. That's all I can really assume. Tell me what you think it is in the comments below. So they are pretty vague in the last part of balance, called the dungeon balance. It says there will be changes in guardians and dungeon bosses' skills, so there could be various ways to clear the dungeon. I honestly can't imagine any other way to clear it besides killing the boss, but I guess what they mean is different team compositions you can bring to dungeons to work with whatever skills they are going with. I don't really know. They're very vague in this department, so I can't give a clear answer, but I guess we'll just have to see. And on one final note, they'll have improvements on the user convenience. This one sounds really interesting, but again, I don't really understand it. It says the gym inventory will be expanded at the same time. So they're talking about the gyms you equip to your Astromons, like HP gyms, whatever. And if you're like on auto battle, you'll get a prompt that says your gym inventory is full. Are you sure you want to continue? You won't be able to carry anymore. And so I guess after this update, we'll have a bigger gym inventory. That's what it sounds like. I'm not sure if it will be expandable then, or just it'll become bigger for everyone. Also, an auto upgrading gym function. I don't know how to feel about this. I'm not sure if it means you need to pay this certain amount of gold to get it to this plus 12 or plus 13 whatever, or if it'll simply keep continuing just to like press the button for you until it goes to whatever. Either one of those actually I'd probably be okay with. It really doesn't take that long, and it would be nice not to actually see your gold being depleted that fast. This is one thing I really hope they eventually change, is the damn chance of success or failure on upgrading a gym, because that is harsh. I have to say, that is very harsh. I went and got one gym to plus 15 today because I thought I needed it for my Dark Miho, because I only have one square slot for her, and I wanted to get the plus 15 on the crit chance, and I had like 1.6 million gold before that, and now I lost 1 million gold. And I think that's pretty crazy for one gym on one Astromon. That's too much gold. You need to up the chances there. Or another suggestion is to make each failure increase the chance. Maybe it does do that already, but it needs to increase it more if it does. That's my one complaint of the game. But yeah, really excited for this update. Tell me what you guys think about it in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts. Are you excited about the update? I'm personally mostly looking forward to the Dragon Dungeon, want a new challenge, want to see if it's really as hard as they say it is, want to know all the different types of gyms. Yeah, that's really interesting. And I'm not sure if they'll go in a special slot rather than in one of these 3 slots. Actually, if you look closely on the Astromon, it looks like there's a 4th spot right here in the middle. Maybe this is where the Dragon Gym, or whatever the hell it's called, will go. That would be really cool, because then you wouldn't have to mess around with your gyms or anything. If there's another slot, that would be awesome. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about the update. Really looking forward to it. It should be here in a couple of weeks, actually. They said mid-October, so it could be 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, but should be actually pretty soon. But anyway, that will be all for today. Drop a like if you did enjoy, really means a lot to me. Thanks as always for watching, and until next time. I don't do that ever anymore. I forget half the time, and then like okay, never mind. Why do I always do these cringy awkward ass outros?